Last box. How's your sex life? I'm sorry, I'm just tired. I'm drained. This is what happens when you watch WrestleMania Night 1 24 hours ago, watch MLW Fusion, and then watch Night 2 of WrestleMania. I don't know how anyone who go to WrestleMania weekend, more power to you, in a normal sensitive way, can do all that much wrestling in that short amount of time. Oh man, my head is killing me. So that happened. Alright, so let's start with Night 2's pre-show, right? Alright, here we go. Yeah. Natalya versus Liv Morgan. One question. Why does Liv Morgan look like a bootleg Scarlett Bordeaux? I know she signed with the company 2 months ago, but any reason behind that? No? Okay, cool. Liv won. Alright. Let's go on to the main show. You have the NXT Women's Championship. Woo! Charlotte Flair versus This Is Brutality. Rhea Ripley. What do I say about this match? First off, if you didn't have headphones for this match, God rest your soul. Because if you thought the women's tag title match was all grunty and screamy, this was like angry lesbian sex porn or something. This was just, this was insane. Mainly Rhea, oddly enough. Rhea was doing her best Maria Sharapova impression. It was just angrily screaming, and yeah, I don't know what to say other than that. I mean, Charlotte pitched in too, of course, but. And I do like the this was actually a good match, believe it or not, despite all that, and despite the one point I had to mute the stream, the match itself, because the screaming was just too much. Nevertheless, it was good psychology. Charlotte was working on Rhea's legs. Obviously, what's Charlotte's finisher? The figure eight. What does she use? The legs to be weakened. Weaken the legs on Rhea to make it harder for Rhea to get out of the figure eight. Makes sense. This was a very good match. Rhea looked like something out of a Dragon Ball Z with the whole white and blue thing going. What buyer is she? Nevertheless, though, should I get that reference? Nevertheless, this was a very good match between the two. I don't believe this is the first match these two have ever had with one another, so not bad for a debut match with one another when it comes to first ever match encounter. Nevertheless, Charlotte, surprise, surprise, hits the figure eight after a while. Rhea has no choice but to tap out, and woo! For the 11th freaking time they've given her a title. Yes, Charlotte, 11-time champion in WWE there, John. By the way, we did have JBL and Michael Cole. JBL once said tonight that he would turn on Michael Cole within a second, which reminds me of that one time on SmackDown when he said that he would literally pull the plug on Michael Cole if he was on life support just to charge his cell phone. JBL was a savage on commentary back in the day, people, right? But yes, Charlotte wins. Lol, what a surprise. Yeah, I'm a fan of Charlotte's, but it's like, oh my god, she's literally 5 titles away of title wins from tying her father. And obviously that's the focal point. Get her there before she retires, has kids. She's gonna marry Andrade, but oh my god. I mean, I'll get to this whole 4 horsemen woman thing, and later on in the 5 women elimination match, but oh boy. I don't know what goes on for here. I mean, I'm sure Charlotte obviously goes to NXT. Does this mean Rhea gets a rematch for the NXT title? Does she go to Raw? Who knows? But honestly, though, overall, best match of the night. Honestly, from a technical standpoint, it told a good story. Best match of the night. Then we go on to Aleister Black and Bobby Lashley. I'll be a son of a bitch. Random as hell. In fact, I believe they just said this like a couple of days ago or so, that these two were going to have a match. So, yeah. Lana was there, of course. And, Aleister Black hit the Black Mass, and that was pretty much it. I mean, obviously it wasn't that quick of a match, but I just didn't really care for it. It's a shame. I mean, I like Aleister Black. He's alright, but Bobby Lashley, man. Like, it was just a few years ago they signed him back. They brought him back to do the WWE. And yet, this guy could easily be main eventing WrestleManias for the world title against Brock or have a big main event match. And this is what you give Bobby Lashley? Really? Come on, man. Come on, man. I miss sports. Alright, moving on. Yeah, I'm not going to mention that interview that Kayla had with both Bayley and Sasha because it involved Bayley and Sasha. So, skipping. 24/7 title. Yes, for those of you who don't remember, it was robbed from the man, Gronk. No, not Bucky Lunch. Freaking Rob Gronkowski. He had a perfect opportunity to get him. His former best friend, Mojo Rawley, screwed him. How dare he? Chad Caruso interviewed him, though. The greatest moderator in First Take history. Again, Molly Who. Exactly. And Gronk said he wouldn't mind being 24/7 champion once the night is over. So we go on to, honestly, a match I was looking forward to, seeing how they would book this match. Honest to God. Otis versus Dolph Ziggler. This has been brewing ever since, like, late December when when Otis gave Mandy a gift. And, Dolph kind of intervened in there, and obviously this whole thing is mainly about the Valentine's Day date that Otis was going to have with Mandy. Dolph sabotaged it, or at least he came in before Otis did. What the hell happened? Turns out, some hacker, modern day GTV, I guess, basically showed footage of Sonya and Dolph planning this. For whatever reason, I mean, we all know Sonya swings that way. More power to her. I don't judge her for that. That's cool. Maybe she was jealous that Otis would go after Mandy instead of her or Mandy, or at least another guy, different person, a guy, not Otis for Mandy. It was a good story, though. And Tucker wasn't there due to basically selling Dolph beating the living hell out of him on the Go Home show of SmackDown. So it was just Dolph coming out to the ring with Sonya Deville. And Otis came up by himself, and I'm thinking, oh no. No Tucker, no Mandy. This might not be good for our good buddy Otis. So yeah. Match was happening. First couple minutes, Otis takes advantage, and then it's mainly Dolph on the offense for the most part until Otis makes a comeback. He's trying to go for the caterpillar. No, that's not the word. Sonya gets on the ring apron. Dolph goes for a low blow. Immediately, right then and there, here comes Mandy, to at least even the odds. Slaps Sonya in the face, rest in peace, Fire and Desire. And then she low blows Dolph, deserves it obviously. And that's when Otis capitalizes, hits the Caterpillar 1, 2, 3, and Otis wins. So not only does he win the match, win the girl, he gets a little 4-second smooch of Mandy Rose after picking her up, aka his Peach, aka Mandy Candy, aka Sexy Lady. So, yeah, Otis wins. No heel turn, no nothing here from Mandy. I was worried this was going to be like a WrestleMania 20 thing between Christian and Jericho and Trish. No. This is what we got. Good. This is the ending we all wanted. Now, granted, this was in front of, obviously, there was actually a crowd there. This probably would have got a huge ass pop. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. This would have been like a WrestleMania moment, Michael. But this was a good moment. It was a good little moment. So, cool. So, alright, moving on. Oh boy, we come from one happy moment to a draining moment. Last man standing match, Randy Orton versus Edge. Two former best friends, of course. If you haven't seen that Edge documentary, I believe it's a 24 documentary that came out right before the WrestleMania pre-show, I suggest you go watch it if you have the chance. Pretty good, very entertaining. I enjoyed it, and a lot of people seem like they enjoyed it too, so yeah. Also, if you like this, hit the subscribe button, follow me on Twitter. And the shoutouts are out of the way, so back to this. This match, myself and many others were thinking, why can't this match main event? Thank God this did not main event. Okay, hear me out. Before people go, oh my God, hear me out. Orton and Edge. two guys, one of them's a Hall of Famer, the other one's a future Hall of Famer. Let's just put it that way. Two legends, two guys who busted their tails off in this match and then some, and not taking that away from them. But when you have this match go for over 30 freaking minutes of just them walking, beating each other, and just completely gassed, taking a tour practically around the performance center of the gym. They go over to the board meeting, and it's like the conference room, and I don't know why, there's like a Hell in a Cell wall, like a, sorry, habit, steel cage fence on the ceiling of it. I don't know why it's there, whatever, okay, it's there. And then you have Byron freaking Saxton and freaking Todd Phillips doing their best ASMR impression. And what I mean by that is they're doing promo. They're actually doing commentary, just like this. It's like, my God. It's like the third time I mentioned like ASMR in WWE in the last 24 hours. Did Vince and freaking Triple H figure out what ASMR is after all this time? And they're like, yeah, we need this. Because they just did not seem interested in this match. The commentary didn't help. Put it this way, the commentary was a major blow to this match. Alright. And it being 30 plus minutes didn't help. But these guys literally beat the living hell out of each other. You were using weight dumbbells. Freaking a ladder was used at one point, and then a lot of steel, like steel steps were used at one point. Cameraman fell over. And then finally they get on top of like a production truck, and Orton hits an RKO. He's about to go hit the punt kick, and I'm like, okay, Randy hasn't done this move in like 10 years because banned. And then Orton catches him with like some headlock, or as Todd Phillips called him, a maneuver, because God forbid you actually call a move, right? It has to be a maneuver most of the time. And then Edge hit, like he said, he hit Orton with a couple of chairs because Orton brought the chairs up. And then Edge hit the concerto and knocked Randy Orton out. So the ending was good. Not just because the match in general was over, but the right guy won in the perfect scenario. Good. This all started with the concerto. It ends with the concerto. This made it seem like, kind of like, in some weird way, almost like the end of the Boneyard match to a certain degree, where it's like the villain is killed off. That's what this felt like. So, again, it was the right thing to do. So, again, it was just a little long. It was a little long, and the commentary killed it to me. Just, it did not help. But again, these guys told the story. They busted their tails off. It was a hell of a feud. Yeah. And I was actually perfectly fine of it being an empty arena for obvious reasons, because not just because obvious reasons, global pandemic, but when you have two guys who want to beat the living hell out of each other, having an empty arena makes sense to me. Just me. So next you have oh my God. Actually first, you have Mojo Rawley, that sick son of a bitch, running around with a 24/7 title. Gronk catches him, jumps on top of him, pins him. Your new 24/7 champion. Put that man in the Hall of Fame now. Okay, I know, biased Patriot fan, I don't care. Raw Tag Team title match. Who the hell is an Austin Theory besides a more buff version of Finn Balor? And Angel Garza, because I guess Andrade is injured, so they had to replace Andrade with Austin Theory versus the Street Profits. Of course, Elena Vega was there. And this match, to me, this should have been on the pre-show. This should have been switched over from the Cesaro and Drew Gulak match, because at least I think there was some bit of a feud between Gulak and Cesaro thing, but this was just there. I mean, it was alright. It's just I didn't really care for it much. Street Profits win. Vega goes in the ring to try to go after Montez Ford and the Street Profits. Out comes Bianca Belair. I was really confused by this, and then I'm like, oh wait, she's married to Montez Ford. She mean Bianca Belair. And Bianca Belair beats the holy hell out of Zelina Vega. So yeah, good little husband-wife moment. Okay, cool. Bianca Belair, all I know is that her promos are annoying. She's very talented in the ring. She's very athletic. I don't get the whole EST thing unless it's Eastern Standard Time. She just, and I'm not being racist at all whatsoever when I say this, because I know someone's going to say, oh, you're racist because she's a black woman. I just get vibes of like Sasha Banks 2.0 from her, and it's like, oh my god, go away. But from what I've heard and seen, she's better in the ring than Sasha, so at least she has that going for her. So yeah, okay. So I assume she's getting called up to Raw? No, I don't know. Anyways, so since Gronk is the new 24/7 champion, they need a new host that's not biased, I guess. So we have Titus O'Neil. Titus is cool. I like Titus. Follows here. So then we go to the Fatal 5-Way Elimination match for the SmackDown Women's Championship. You have the Sasha Banks versus Naomi versus Lacey Evans versus Tamina Snuka versus Bayley. And it hit me to this moment that Bayley came from a 1980s teenage sitcom theme to motherfreaking emo scene theme. Generic theme. Awesome. So, Tamina was eliminated within the first, 5 minutes of this match. It was at this point where I was missing Nia Jax. I know, you're probably going to think I'm alone there. Just leave me be, okay? I miss Nia Jax. Tamina, I don't dislike her like some people do on Twitter. I'm not a fan of hers either. I guess I'm indifferent. Yeah. So then it was down to Sasha, Naomi, Lacey, and Bayley. Naomi was then eliminated. And then, before she was eliminated, freaking Bayley, oh my god. So obviously there's no fans in the arena, so you could hear exactly what the wrestlers are saying practically perfectly. To the point where you could hear Michael Cole screaming because there's echoes in the freaking room. Bayley at one point says something along the lines of Naomi, and this is not verbatim, but something along the lines of, oh yeah, go ahead, you run, you little dancing machine. Quarter of the 4 horsewomen, ladies and gentlemen. Women's champion, Bayley. Oh my god. By the way, apparently she's been champion for nearly a year now. I totally forgot about that. I'll get to that in a moment. But anywho, Naomi's eliminated. Then it's Lacey, Sasha, Bayley. Lacey tries to hit the women's right, I believe, on Bayley, but Bayley ducks out of the way and she hits Sasha. Eliminates Sasha, so lol, MAGA freaking Lacey Evans. Eliminate Sasha Banks. That's terrorist. And then finally and then Sasha, by the way, while eliminated, gets outside the ring. She doesn't leave the area. She's by ringside, so you already know what the finish of this match is going to be. Lacey's on the offense. Sasha sneaks up behind Lacey, hits the backstabber, and then Bayley capitalized, and 1, 2, 3, Bayley retains the SmackDown Women's Championship. And at this point, it hits me that, my God, I would hate to be any female in this company that's a competitor as a wrestler, not the 4 horsewomen. Think about it. Charlotte becomes 11-time champion, wins the NXT Women's Championship. Bayley retains. Sasha hints at another feud with Bayley because after this match was over, Sasha grabbed the belt and then slowly gave it to Bayley like, oh yeah, you have this? Okay, cool. And Bayley gave this trash-talking cringe of nobody can touch me. Oh, look at me, nobody can touch me. And Becky the Mind has been women's champion for over a year on the Raw side. And you can say, well, Chris, what about Alexa Bliss? They gave her and Nikki Cross the tag titles. Do you think this company really gets a credit about those tag titles? They didn't care about them the second they debuted them. You think 1 year later they're going to care about them? Child, please. But yeah, getting that out of the way. I feel better now. So now we go on to, oh my god, how do I explain this match? I'm going to do my best. The Firefly Funhouse match. I love your new girlfriend versus let me in. The Fiend Bray Wyatt. This match was insane, okay? Cena comes out, I'm like, oh, it's a big match of John. His name's John Cena. He comes down to the ring, and then he stops because he's magically transported into like another dimension practically. And I guess this is all in Bray Wyatt's head. And, you know, it came to me that it was like, okay, I'm glad they brought up, first off, that 6 years ago, John Cena couldn't do the JOB for Bray Wyatt. You know? So I'm glad they brought up that, like, 6 years later, here's what happens between Cena and Bray Wyatt. You know, this is Bray Wyatt's revenge, basically. He couldn't beat Cena physically. He has to beat him mentally. I'm cool with that. So Cena magically transformed into the prototype, but prototype, aka debut John Cena. But before all that, actually, he's in the Firefly Funhouse. He bumps into Rambling Rabbit, I believe his name is. And by the way, the Vince McMahon Devil Evil Boss puppet needs to be in the Hall of Fame right now. I don't care what anybody says. That thing is goat material. And saying that Cena needs to prove that he has this, or he's fired. Yeah. So Cena prototype ball with the SmackDown fist literally behind him runs down to the ring, and there's Bray Wyatt. And Cena's repeating ruthless aggression numerous times, and they show like a little video thing of like Kurt Angle in the background for a split second. Obviously, that was Cena's debut match was against and Kurt Angle an open challenge, ruthless aggression. So then, freaking, oh my god. Then it turns into like Saturday night's main event intro where Bray Wyatt becomes like this fitness guru guy, and then Cena comes in and he's like jacking up on dumbbells. He's like, yeah, look at me, the powers, mega powers, dude. And then he's going as fast as possible with dumbbells, and then he magically turns into a Word Life Thugonomics Cena. Comes out with the Yankee jersey and all, and shorts, and he's coming out with the chains and the freaking brass knucks on his hands, basically, his fingers. And then he starts cutting a promo, like a little rap on Bray Wyatt, and he tries to hit Bray Wyatt. By the way, I love Bray Wyatt's whole, he dodges out of the way and goes, you can look, but you can't touch. Oh my god. How to bring up the ex-fiancé who is engaged now, who has a baby on the way. Is that what you did there? Oh, that was great. But Wyatt basically said that Cena wasn't a hero, he's a bully, that he's had so many chances, countless of chances, that Bray Wyatt has had maybe a few chances here and there, but it's been taken away, everything's been taken away from him. And then, all of a sudden, we get a little flashback of 6 years ago at WrestleMania 30, when, Cena beat Wyatt, and then Bray Wyatt becomes basically the first version of Bray Wyatt, the OG Bray Wyatt. By the way, Husky Harris was mentioned. And, he talked about he has a whole world in his hands, and he was sitting in his chair, his rocking chair in the Florida swamp, basically. And Wyatt's about to hit the Sister Abigail kiss on Cena, and then Cena gets out of the way. And then all of a sudden it becomes literally, I kid you not, WCW Monday Night Nitro, where Bray Wyatt is wearing a Wolfpack t-shirt. And I'm like, well, okay, NWO Wolfpack, well, IRS, Bray Wyatt's father was in, not WCW obviously, but also the NWO. Again, like 90% of the roster was in NWO at one point, but nevertheless. He's basically pulling up an Eric Bischoff. He has like the black leather jacket, and he's like, hey, check this out, guys. You know what I want to do? You know what I want to do? And out comes Hollywood. John Cena. Yeah, it's Hollywood, not Hulk Hogan, but John freaking Cena. There we go. It's the NWO belt and the t-shirt, the black and white. And he's doing the air guitar. Oh my god, this was great. This was great. The light was flashing and everything, and finally, the Fiend pops out of nowhere behind Cena in the ring. Hits the mandible claw. Bray Wyatt, no, not the Fiend, Bray Wyatt counts it 1, 2, 3. The Fiend wins. I mean, this was absolutely 110% insane. My brain was hurting after that, because I'm like, what the hell was this? Like, I enjoyed it, but I'm still wondering, what the hell was this? And then I kind of like rethought about it in my head. I'm like, okay, this was a mental thing, this is all in the head. This was obviously Bray Wyatt's revenge. Okay. I liked it. It was weird. I expected it to be weird and kooky, especially after the Boneyard match. I still prefer the Boneyard match over this, but this was good. This was enjoyable, so this was fun. And then and by the way, Titus O'Neil even mentioned he was a little shocked, and he was like, he had no idea what he just saw. Yeah, you're not the only one, man. Trust me, you are not the only one. So then we go into the main event, WWE title match. Drew McIntyre, Kelly, I'm in the main event versus Brock Lesnar. And I don't know how many people saw the WWE Chronicle special that they aired last night on the network for Drew McIntyre. Kind of depressing. It was entertaining. It was depressing as hell, though. Reminded me of like the Revenant movie. Anywho, they had to show a little video package basically from Drew being called as the Chosen One, his debut from Vince. And that was when the time I became a fan of Drew McIntyre. And then he went to 3MB, and then he got fired, and then he came back, and basically from where he debuted to this very moment. And that Brock Lesnar is a big part that's in his way because he wants to be WWE champion. He's always wanted to be a world champion, WWE, at WrestleMania, main event. But there's Brock, obviously. So then we go into this match. Pretty short match. If you remember the format of the Braun Strowman Goldberg match, pretty much the same format here, honestly. Brock hits about, I kid you not, 4 F5s, and then Drew McIntyre kicks out because he doesn't give a shit about your F5s. And Drew hits about, I believe, 3 Claymore kicks on Brock, wins the match, becomes new WWE champion for the first time in his career. So congratulations to Drew McIntyre. And that was pretty much WrestleMania as a whole. Not just night 2, but wrapping of Mania. And, honestly, at first, I was saying that I preferred night 1 of WrestleMania. I think part of me still does, just because, I was so hyped after the Boneyard match. And then here was here's a short little squash title match and the end. You know what I mean? But at the same time, there were some positives tonight in the night 2 WrestleMania match. Obviously, Drew winning was the right decision. The Firefly Funhouse match, despite how insane that was fun and entertaining. The Otis winning and getting the win, getting the girl, that was a good feel-good moment. The very ending of Edge and Orton's last minute standing match wasn't too bad. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And the women's, NXT women's match was pretty good too. But overall, it's I think I look at it as from a standpoint where it's I had little to no expectations of, for obvious reasons, WrestleMania, for many reasons, because of how it was booked and unfortunately the freaking global pandemic we're going through, guys, and whatnot. So you put that in perspective, this was thoroughly a nice distraction, all 7 to 8 hours of it. Crazy. Again, my mind wants to blow up right now, but I had fun overall just looking back at it. And hopefully next year for WrestleMania 37 in Los Angeles, things will be at least more normal, and we'll go from there. So, and that's it really for me. Before I go off on this, before I just say, bye guys, stay safe. Seriously. I know I like to joke around, I like to be silly, I like to be crazy, make weird, bad / corny jokes, do horrible / 1% good imitations, but seriously, just stay safe, stay healthy, and just do the best you can. Don't be dumb. It's just losing a lot of people out there in the world, guys. And if anything, it's shown us that life is way too short. And I know I'm a young guy, but I'm not indestructible. I'm not immune. I'm not a Terminator type of deal. You drop a nuke on me, I'm gonna somehow live. No, just stay safe, stay healthy, take it easy. All right, have a good one, and later, man.